Friends, these are confusing times. Life has become surreal and facts feel like fiction. Some people believe that communism is feasible. The International House of Pancakes has now become burgers. And America has a space force. And so in this strange new world, in this surreal moment of time, one could call it inevitable that the Lost Context podcast should exist. The podcast that the world needs right now. Not because it adds stability in a bizarre world, of course, but because it makes the world seem normal by comparison. On this episode, we have Chris Riley.
The planet Earth is basically a spacecraft. It's actually the most low-tech spacecraft you could possibly be on.
Tim Demuse.
I want to make that abundantly clear that Brian says the N-word on the podcast.
Kyle Tuch.
If you're sad that he died, you're a piece of shit.
And eventually, Alex Insdorf.
Next to like AIDS and other things, I mean, the IHOP burger wasn't really that bad.
And as always, I'm Brandy Brontosaurus. And now, ladies, gentlemen, and all the other genders, as the world becomes increasingly strange and confusing, hold on to the fact that the Lost Context podcast will always life can throw. And now we drop you without context into the Lost Context podcast.
Can you hear me?
Sure can.
Okay,
I thought it was Wesley for a second.
Ew!
Those were the first words Wesley ever said to us.
Yeah.
Wait, does Wesley really?
In almost the same pitch. Oh yeah, he has a very high voice.
That sucks. Poor guy.
Yeah, he makes Brian sound like a baritone.
Yeah, dude, we're a barbershop quartet between the four of us.
I wouldn't say he makes me sound like a baritone.
But definitely an alto.
It brings my voice down to an alto.
Y'all be nice.
Brian. That's you singing.
I'm gonna start this podcast with Kyle coming in.
Okay.
We'll really change things up here.
Really change things up here.
What am
We're
I supposed to
discovering
say?
new
There's
territory
script?
right here.
What?
Oh no, you don't have to say
Or
anything.
something?
Well, I guess you do have to say something to be on a podcast. That generally helps, but there's nothing pre-planned that you have to say.
Oh well, I'll bring my opinion in and all that because a lot of people don't like them anyways.
Yeah.
That's what this podcast is for. Opinions that no one likes.
I'm here to be the fuel to fire.
So guys, XXXTenacion just died.
Oh, dude, fucking Tenacious D.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
But I like Jack Black.
XXX executed.
Bleh.
I thought it was like Tentacoin or something.
I thought it was like the fourth in the series of the Vin Diesel action
Basically,
movies.
it was just he has a fucking retarded name, basically, is what it is.
Well, and since when did rappers just start using their Xbox Live names as their?
Yeah.
Rappers ain't shit these days.
I'm gonna make it one of our commercials tonight. When we go to commercials, I'm gonna do a movie preview for XXXTenacion starring Vin Diesel.
I remember back in my day when rappers used to live through shootings. God damn it. 50 Cent got shot 9 times for this country, all right? 50 Cent is a true fucking American. He's the rapper. He's not just the rapper we need. He's the rapper we deserve. ladies and gentlemen.
These SoundCloud stars can't handle shit.
Fucking A.
Like what that one Alex guy was saying in the comment section of one of the posts about it, how like XXX whatever the fuck was helping through like mental illness and anxiety and depression, and oh my gosh, he helped me so much. Yeah, if everyone just helped if every single rapper that came into the game when it was just gonna help everyone with mental illnesses and shit, you might as well just make every single one of the ones coming into the game like a famous.
Well, here's the
Everyone
thing, though, that you're
wants something to
missing,
do with
Kyle,
something.
is he's helping to give people mental illnesses when he's like assaulting pregnant women and shit, you know, giving them PTSD.
I have so many opinions about that. It's not even funny. If you're sad that he died, you're a piece of shit. Point blank, period.
What was the part
like,
that helped you through the mental illness? Was it the music video where he was hanging white people from trees?
Jesus Christ, and almost blinding your girlfriend and holding her hostage?
That's the one that helped me the most.
Can we go back to hanging white people in trees?
I actually didn't. I don't remember what the music video was. I just remember that he hung white people.
What? People are hanged, Brian. This is not...
Hunged. Sorry, hunged. Like a horse.
There are very few people. There are
So
very
what you're
few white
telling me
people that
is-
are hung.
He put large penises on white people and then put them
Yeah,
in
but
trees?
wait,
This is weird.
If you use the argument that, oh, he hung white people, they're going to be like, oh, well, white people hung black people, blah, blah, blah. It's not that big of a deal. And you're just like, bitch, it's all a big deal.
Oh, they are from trees. Yeah, he really did hang white people. I'm watching it now.
Stupid. Ways to trick Kyle.
Oh, okay, never mind. There's equality. He's hanging from a tree, too.
Hey. Foreshadowing, ladies and gentlemen. Foreshadowing.
Like, if y'all could please read some of his lyrics, I have no idea how that helped anyone with any mental illness whatsoever, besides that they're just fucking mentally ill from liking him.
Well, the thing is, he didn't help them get rid of their mental illness. He helped them with their mental illness. He encouraged it. I think that's what Tim was saying.
Like, here, I'll be sad with you. You go ahead and still be sad.
I think I got a mental illness from reading his name.
I definitely feel dyslexic.
Bethsaida.
Boo! No! Stop it,
Do
Brian!
it, Brian.
I need a fucking squirt bottle. Can I hire your dad to stand next to you with a fucking squirt bottle and just squirt you in the face every time that you do this? I'll just be like, Mr. Bridges, if you could please. Could you please put Brian back into his place? Like Caesar Milan, he just squirts you a couple times.
Chris was making fun of me after the show last week because he was listening through it again and he hit the part where I did a callback, but all I did was say Bethsaida. I didn't even like make a joke out of it. I was just saying. So
Farts.
that's basically what it was.
So I've obviously been missing out.
Sorry. Although it is your fault for not listening to the Lost Context podcast here on Podbean and Stitcher and iTunes and YouTube.
And your local lesbian.
Are you saying I'm the local lesbian?
I'm not saying anything. I can neither confirm nor deny. I'm just saying that
I'm
Kyle-
definitely only half lesbian.
quarter lesbian
Kyle-
at best.
Kyle, let's talk about how you are ignoring all the other genders by being bisexual.
Okay, how I'm ignoring all other there's not even any other genders. There's two genders. You have a penis or a vagina. I will never get that. You can't be a banana. You can't be a fucking board on a wall.
What if I was an attack helicopter?
That
Then
just
you'd be-
Are you a transformer now?
We have an attack helicopter in our group.
Oh yeah,
Suck
suck my
my-
cock.
Since when?
Suck my cock is a helicopter.
He's been there for a while.
Is he
Yeah.
one of y'all? Did y'all make him? One of y'all made him, right?
No, he's
No.
been around probably as long as Pippi Dipperson.
Wow. I want to make fun of him now. I didn't know he would. I didn't even know he existed. I've obviously missed out on a lot.
Well, you have a job, so.
Oh, actually, I don't have a job right now.
What? You were my
know.
favorite person to follow on Snapchat because of your job.
I know. I was my favorite person on Snapchat too. But
You were the only person on my Snapchat that posted lizards and snakes and, like, I don't even know what some of those animals were.
So wait, how does one be one's own favorite person on Snapchat? Are you like addicted to benzos? Do you like get a bunch of pills in your system and they're like, oh, I wonder what Kyle was up to today? Forget about that shit. Like, woo!
I just want to watch myself. I want to be my only story that I watch.
I mean,
I still have like a bunch of lizards still. I'm gonna start nanotanks. Like, I'm still gonna own animals that I'll post and stuff, but no, I'm just lingering in life right now because I don't know what I want to do.
What is a nanotank?
A nanotank?
Sounds like a secret government weapon or something.
I wish. Well, basically,
It invades your bloodstream and shoots you with little tiny...
basically, without being too nerdy about it and getting...
it's how they made the Wolverine.
Shut up. It's a 10-gallon tank or lower, or smaller, and it has live plants and shrimp in it. Like nano shrimp. Like micro crabs and shrimp in it.
Like sea monkeys.
Yeah, so eventually once you get the ecosystem established in it, you can take the filter out and it's its own filter. And it's its own little ecosystem.
Wow.
It's pretty cool.
So in Texas, do they have a 10-gallon hat nanotank?
A 10-gallon oh, what? Shut up.
I just want to try something really quick because it seems like it's a thing, but since we have somebody that is from Texas, the stars at night are big and bright.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
I thought that was a mandatory rule.
It is. If you don't do it, you're not a Texan.
That's fucking hilarious.
And you
I
have
thought the
to
end of it
scream
was when you're tripping balls.
Well, that's
And
it.
you have
but...
to scream it. You can't just nonchalantly say it. You have to scream it from the top of your lungs so everyone fucking knows around you what's going on.
Well, that's why I have no idea what the actual melody is, because every time I've ever heard it, it's only been drunkenly screamed. Except for this one time.
Guys?
Guys?
Oh my
there
god, I
you
was here. I'm so sorry. I had to mute myself because I had to yell at my dog.
Oh.
I thought everyone cut out.
That sounds like it'll be a euphemism.
So what else has happened lately that we can talk about besides the stupid XXXTenacion whatever?
What, you haven't heard?
No.
We have a
Yeah,
fucking Space Force now!
a space force? Who has a space force? The group or the
We
one?
do! The
America.
United States citizen!
What?
I'm not kidding about this. This is 100% true. Today, Trump commissioned the Department of Defense to create a 6th branch of the military.
Would you like to know more?
The Space Force.
Yes, I want to know more. What is this?
Would you like to know more?
Yes, I would like to know more.
Nobody else has
So
seen
would
Starship
everybody
Troopers?
else in the fucking country.
Nobody else has seen Starship Troopers? Come on.
We've all seen it, but 15 years ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
what
I have
the
never
fuck?
seen Star Trek. What are you talking about?
No, not Star Trek. Starship Troopers.
Star Troopers, same thing.
It is definitely
It's a
not the
movie
same
about
thing.
people that are in the military in space and they shower together and then have to go and blow up a bunch of crabs.
Wait, I don't remember the crabs. I just remember showering together.
So they're just sharing crabs?
Oh, that's right. They got
Yep.
crabs.
Oh, actual itchy skin crabs, not floaty space animal crabs.
Right.
Okay.
Great sci-fi.
Jesus. Well, I don't know. Jacob made me watch this movie the other night, and I can't remember the name of it. I'm sure y'all can remember the name of it, but it's this spacecraft, and it's out in space, and there's they're doing an
Wait.
experiment or whatever.
Where else would one find a spacecraft?
Yeah. Out in space is a good place to have a spacecraft.
Can you please, sir?
This is my job on the podcast, Kyle. I apologize.
I'm sorry. It's true, Kyle. This is what we hired him for.
Apology accepted. No, but
Okay,
for
so
real,
they're on a
they
spacecraft.
like take an organism off of Mars and they're like experimenting on it. Like there's a black guy in crutches or like in a wheelchair, and his name's Carl, I think. Not Carl. Is his name Carl? I think his name's Carl or Charles or something like that.
Or
But it's a little
D-Ray.
organism, something like that, some black name. And so it's like a little organism, and he like grows into like this weird cloud thing, and basically Jake Gyllenhaal is in it. Don't know what movie I'm talking about?
I'm still stuck on Charles and Carl being a black name. Oh man.
It just fits. No, but for
We all
real,
remember
like,
King Charles, the first black king of England.
but for real, it like kills, it like starts killing all of them. Like it can like go into their skin and like kill them. Ryan Reynolds is in it. Ryan Reynolds and Jake Gyllenhaal are in it.
Green Lantern?
Oh yes, Green Lantern. That's it. That's the one. Thank you.
No problem. That's what I'm here for.
It was Life.
Yes, that one.
I might have seen it if Burt Reynolds was in it.
Wait, you're telling me neither Smokey nor the Bandit are in it? Nah, no, not for me.
Oh man, if that same movie was Burt Reynolds and Dom DeLuise, like I would have seen it 50 times by now.
I remember seeing previews for it, and I was interested, but then it came out and didn't get the best of reviews, so I
It's
never bothered.
scary. I think it's terrifying, but I also don't like aliens.
Well,
Ridley Scott doesn't like you.
That actually was a good one.
Thank you.
I wish I had laughed instead of just saying it was a good one, but I can't get that moment back now.
You rotten son of a bitch.
he just was in awe.
Oh.
That was so good.
That's so funny.
Staring off
Whole-
into space.
Holy shit, Tim.
So, like, my biggest takeaway with the creation of the Space Force is that apparently there weren't enough countries on the Earth to invade, and so we gotta go, like, find countries in space to go and do that shit.
It's because of peace with North Korea or whatever. He's
Yeah.
all shaking Kim's hand, and he's like, fuck, I gotta go. I gotta find someone to fight.
So I just have to verify. Like,
disappointing World War III.
I just have to verify.
I mean, we have to just make sure that there's no oil on the moon.
That's right.
How else do you do that other than invading it?
Space oil.
What do you have to verify, Kyle?
They're really making like a space like exploration group thing, or y'all just fucking with me?
No,
No, that's real.
it's like one of the number one trending things in news right now.
That's kind of
Which is-
terrifying.
It's kind of disappointing because I remember him talking about the announcement that he wanted to make a Space Force, but I didn't realize that he had actually launched it.
Kyle
and
just
so-
left, so I feel like explaining to her about the Space Force is really out of the question now. Oh, hey.
Oh, she's back,
Um,
and she's gone again. All right, well, really toying with our emotions here.
Wait, are y'all still here? Oh my gosh, I accidentally exited out of it.
Only
you're like
once?
one of the only people who knows how to exit out of it.
Well, technically my face did it because I have my phone up to my face, and I was like, oh god, no. So I didn't know what I was doing.
Oh, dude, if you have headphones, I recommend getting headphones and putting those in. This is going to get quite uncomfortable after a while otherwise, I think.
Yeah, I'm trying to look for some, but literally Jacob takes all of them and they disappear.
That's what you said during
I
the
was
movie
about to
night.
say, I feel like this happened last time Kyle was on the podcast.
I think it was CLC Jukebox night.
Oh, was it? Okay.
But I was bitching about Jacob always taking headphones and never fucking returning them.
Yep, that's the one.
It's good to see things have changed in your relationship.
Well, we also just moved, so I'm not surprised that all of our stuff is kind of jumbled everywhere.
To a new place or a new city?
To a new city.
Things weren't going well, so we decided to have a baby. It's gotta fix
It's
everything.
now. No, I have literally highly been considering going to California because California does this like electroshock thing or chemical thing to your uterus. So it basically makes your uterus scar tissue on the inside, so it can't hold eggs.
But would it still be able to hold a boot?
The boot.
Yep, I can't rescue on this one, Tim.
What's the boot?
I have no idea where that was going.
Tim, that one was so funny.
Thank you, Brian. I really appreciate that.
Wait, is that Tim's voice?
Yes, that's Tim's voice.
Wait, Tim, speak.
Woof.
Good boy.
I knew you were going to do that, too.
Tim is the actual baritone of our podcast.
His voice is a lot deeper than I remember it or thought it would be because he's so scrawny.
Wow.
He is very tall.
Scrawny.
I'm 230 pounds. Thank you very much.
Holy shit.
Jeez.
Right?
What?
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 I weigh quite a bit. Thank you.
You haven't posted any recent selfies lately, I guess, huh?
I mean, what do you expect? I lorded the meme belt over you guys as much as humanly possible. Nobody wants to do another tournament, so fuck it, right?
That's true. Your meme lord belt pictures did not look like 240 pounds to me.
I said 30. We're not on camera right now. Goddamn.
Well, at the rate you must be growing, I assumed.
Wow, the rate has been growing.
So did Trump actually say the purpose of the Space Force, or did he just launch it for just cuz?
For all I know, just cuz, but I'm sure he had a very bullshitty way of explaining it. And one thing I kept on seeing in the headlines that were popping up was that in the speech, he used the term that it would be a separate but equal branch of the military. That's not like ever been a thing.
So
Like,
what's the
you know,
goal for the Space Force?
It's to apparently protect our freedoms in space. Like, you know.
Take the moon for America, goddammit.
Yeah.
We got to get all the good planets before everybody else does.
This is the future that Colin Moriarty wanted.
Yeah.
We're going to go install a democracy on Mars.
Colin did that whole big episode about how when they first were planning on going to the moon, they had all these plans to make, a space station and all this, build this whole base on the moon and stuff. And now, after all this time, Trump is finally making it happen.
Huh. Interesting.
I mean, no, he's not. He's just putting out some bullshit right now to distract from some bullshit he's probably going to do tomorrow.
Probably. My favorite thing about it is that they're calling it a space force.
It is the best.
It's awesome.
Oh, we got the Air Force. We'll just have the Space Force. We could have gone the aliens route and went with the Space Marines or the Space Navy.
Nope.
But
This is
Space Force.
This is the most low budget Hollywood sci-fi original title they could come up
It's
with.
coming to life.
This is like that Dr. Evil scene from Austin Powers. I call it the Alan Parsons Project.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, no, that shit is never gonna happen. I mean, seriously, though, like, how would Trump explain to his constituents that there is a need to invest a shitload of money into anything? I mean, I guess it's going to be the military, so maybe they'll be all right with it, but, like, I don't see any way that this goes over well if he really tries to implement something like this.
Oh, he's already signed the paper, the executive order to do so.
Like,
Yeah.
That's not how that works, though. You can't just start a new branch
He
of the
did.
military with executive order.
Has that ever stopped a president before? Oh, according to the Constitution, that's not how it works. Oh, well, we're interning the Japanese now. We're, what other thing? Like, everything they do, for the most part, is beyond the bounds of...
But here's the thing, though, is normally when that kind of stuff gets allowed, there's some sort of a fear aspect. And there is no fear aspect. We don't know of any... Dude, unless Trump comes out and announces aliens tomorrow, There's no
I mean-
fucking way. Like,
I was just about to say, what if Trump like knows there's aliens among us or aliens about to come to Earth, and he's like, we need a space force to protect us.
That's how he
We've got a
his
huge
position.
problem. Let me tell you, the Martians are coming here. They're taking our jobs. We can't stand it for it anymore. We got to go up there. They're not sending their best.
well, don't we just need fucking Marty Robbins yodeling to destroy the aliens?
Just put that shit on blast.
Yeah. Pretty sure I watched a documentary about it.
We do need to secure the rights to the yodeling song from Price is Right, though.
All right.
That is actually my phone ring whenever anybody calls me. It's called Cliffhangers.
So yeah, what else you got planned for today's show, Brian? What you want to talk about today, Brian? Go.
The reason Kyle is here is because I didn't plan anything this week.
Let me ask you a question there, Brian. You gonna host this podcast or what's going on?
Listen, I could do nothing and I'd still be a better host than you were last week.
Oh. No, this is just my first time actually being like, sure, I guess I'll be on a podcast. Because I'm actually pretty shy. Like, despite how I act on social media, like in the group and like on the phone, I can actually be pretty shy.
And in real life and like in all these other cases where it's totally not the case. Other than that, I'm shy though.
I am.
Speaking of social media, I wanted to get your thoughts on where it's going in the future. With people being angry at YouTube, people being, abandoning Facebook bit by bit, generation by generation. I'm curious as to see what's going to happen. Any thoughts on that?
It'll be
have no
something to do
idea.
with virtual reality, I bet. Like,
You think
just
so?
VR chat rooms will because it'll become more ubiquitous the more time goes on. Instead of the huge headsets, it'll just be like a set of glasses that you wear, or you'll get like a fucking chip installed in you or something like that.
I'm just waiting for old MySpace to come back.
The hipsters are
Wait,
going to
no,
bring
why?
it back.
Old MySpace
Yeah.
is the best, and y'all have to admit it, because, I mean, we had profile songs, we could have our own wallpaper, we could change our cursor. Like, MySpace was fun as shit. Like,
Yeah,
if
nothing like having
if my
the
profile didn't look better than everyone on my friends list, I was like, hell no, mine has to be better. So I would spend hours. Coding that shit.
what you'd spend hours on is having to highlight all the text on the page because they wrote in white lettering on a yellow background. Meanwhile, Cotton Eye Joe plays in the background 500 times.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh my god, did y'all see that Cotton Eye Joe video of the husband using his wife's picture? Or that boyfriend using his girlfriend's pictures with her posing?
No.
No, I'm gonna share it to the group right now then.
I hated MySpace because of all that stuff, and I intentionally designed my profile to be the worst that I could make it, and it crashed my brother's Wii.
Yeah,
What?
well, you're just a big
He couldn't
old
get it up ever
sore
again.
loser.
So I was on I had a person that was on VR, what's it called? Altspace, and it's essentially just social media for VR. And so I jumped in there to talk to her, and it's kind of interesting. You all have your own, your avatars are just these 3D model robots and things, or people, or whatever you make them, and you can customize them. And then
These
you can
giant
go,
anthropomorphic cats.
yeah. So people who had the controllers with hands could have hands. Those without they were floating bodies. And then, so you could use your phone or you could use your VR headset, and you could go around to different rooms. And they had essentially what we have on Discord with CLC. They had like big screens that show YouTube videos, so they could have jukebox sessions with each other, or they had games of what's the horrible game? Cards Against Humanity, and a couple other games. So I mean, it's social media hangout with visual aspects, so you can play games together and stuff. It was interesting.
I think that sounds
But
boring.
yeah, I don't know. Everybody would have to have the gear to do it, and that's why I'm not sure if it would take off or not.
I think whatever happens, it's going to be based off your phone.
I feel like if I actually want to play board games with my friends, I'll go to their houses and play board games with them. If that makes sense.
Right. You could
Instead
use
of
your
just-
phone, but
I think you underestimate how many people don't actually have physical friends that they can meet in person.
that's true.
Me, I don't.
You're just... Yeah. I think it's going to get worse, too. Fewer and fewer real-life friends.
My boyfriend's my only friend, and my lizard.
The only reason why I'm not sure if it would take off is because it's not as convenient. With your phone, you can sit there and watch your movie and chat with friends. With the gear, you would have to be pretty locked in place. It's not like you can multitask.
Right. Like, if it's going to be anything, it'll probably be augmented reality with your phone somehow.
I could see that.
Or the people that are
Yeah.
going to make this happen are going to be like the people in Sword Art Online that's going to trap us in there and make us fight to the death, and then we're all going to fucking die besides one person.
Spoilers.
Either that or we all get drafted into the Space Force.
Hell no.
There you go.
I would seriously,
Women, too.
I
Equality.
fucking hate space, and I fucking hate aliens, and I hate spacecrafts. It just terrify me. Like, if they were to tell me the world was going to blow up tomorrow and we all have to evacuate onto spaceships to go to Mars to survive, I would stay my ass on Earth and be like, I'm dying with it because I am not getting in a spacecraft.
If it came to that, I would.
What's the difference, though? The planet Earth is basically a spacecraft. It's going through space just as any craft would.
Well, my feet are planted on the Earth.
It's actually the most low-tech spacecraft you could possibly be on. It's just
It's
a
not.
fucking rock
It's
flying
different,
around.
okay? It's different. It's fucking different. Don't get all fucking into all this bullshit. It's different.
Well.
Come on, Brian. Don't you have to like lead the podcast? Come up with stuff to talk about?
Yeah, I was told you were a better host.
Who was a better host?
I was told Brian was a better host.
Well, apparently,
Apparently,
Today's
he
episode
got
brought to
nothing.
you by
wrong.
awkward pauses.
Ladies and gentlemen, this episode is brought to you by I was too busy shaving my head. What the fuck were you doing, Brian? What's going on?
I'm trying to remember that.
Today's episode also brought to you by talking over each other.
That's every episode.
True.
Yeah, I don't remember what I was doing last week.
Are there any other special guests on the podcast today that aren't usually on the podcast?
Cowart might show up sooner or later.
But he's also
Howard?
usually on the podcast.
Chris Cowart.
Oh, okay.
I have another topic. The topic is, I was listening to Jordan Peterson, and he was talking about how on the right side of the political spectrum, they say that you've crossed the line when you start talking about, he said you start talking about superiority of one race over another.
So, did you know that Peter Jordanson says that that's actually how you gain equality?
Peter Jordanson.
Have you heard about
Anyway.
him? He's really famous.
Is he?
Yeah, he's a fucking neurologist out of Panama City.
I heard he was a literal Nazi.
A literal
Well, you
Nazi?
don't want to listen to that guy. You know, he's just absurd. He doesn't know a thing that he's talking about.
Hey, Holmes, I'm here to talk to you about lobsters and shit, man.
No, you don't know the first thing about lobsters. I lost the accent. Kind of started to turn it into Barney from from the Andy Griffith Show. There it is. Almost forgot what the show was called.
I have no real opinion because I don't know anything about politics.
Nobody likes your opinions
Do
anyway.
you have any opinions on Barney?
On Barney?
Barney Fife? Barney Fife from the Andy Griffith Show.
I never
He was the
watched
kooky
Barney.
cop played by Don Knotts.
Or any opinions on Barney Rubble, sidekick to Fred Flintstone?
No.
Or Purple Dinosaurs.
Yes.
Isn't he a pedophile?
Whoa. What?
I thought he was a pedophile. I thought he got charged like the person who like played in the Barney suit was a pedophile. Or am I
Oh, I
wrong?
thought that was Blue's Clues guy.
Is he a pedophile?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that was anybody. I think that's just a fake news thing that probably was going around at one point.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Lost Context podcast bringing you facts. 100%.
We don't know anything.
We should place bets, like who's gonna be the next scandal.
I mean, I'm just glad that we weren't accusing people of doing anything terrible. You know what I mean? Like, at least we were just saying they were pedophiles instead of like...
Pedophilia is pretty terrible.
That was the joke, Kyle. That was the joke. Good work.
Gotcha. Went over my head. Sorry. Remember
Sure did.
guys?
Speaking of celebrity scandal, the newest one is Chris Hardwick.
Speaking of defamation of character.
Yep, so he lost his Talking Dead show, apparently.
Why?
Oh, see, I knew that he had started Nerdist, but I forgot that he was the Talking Dead guy.
Is he a pedophile?
No, he was abusive to his ex-girlfriend, allegedly.
Oh, allegedly. You know, girls can fucking lie too, though.
Yeah, they can. The silver lining in all this is that soon Pornhub and Xvideos will probably have starfishing videos.
What the fuck is starfishing?
It's apparently this thing that he made her do whenever she didn't want to have sex, where she would just lie there in a starfish position while he went Louis C.K. on her.
That's hilarious.
I love having Kyle on the show because she asks all the questions I want to know but that I don't want to ask.
Well, I'm also very clueless about everything, so I have a lot of questions to ask all the time.
I was reading through her complaints about him, and it seemed to me that he was a shitty person, but it also seemed to me that she was the one that stayed in the relationship.
I mean,
I'm just wondering how much can be said for him being... it's not like one of those rape scenarios where they're forced or whatever. And I don't even know if it's one of those scenarios where I have to do this to keep my job because he's in a position of power, because they were just in a relationship. Well, there was the thing where she mentioned that he prevented her from getting future jobs because he called people up and was like, don't hire her. So I guess that could be.
That's a pretty shitty relationship to be in.
Yeah.
It was pretty, I think,
I
forgot about that part as I was talking. I thought that was pretty shitty.
well, here's the thing that I find weird about the whole situation, though. She works, like, she used to work for IGN, like, for a really long time. And aren't they, like, the biggest games journalist site that exists?
As far as I know.
So what you're trying to tell me is that, like, this man could destroy your career. You guys broke up. And then you proceeded to work at the biggest games journalism site in, you know what I mean? Like, that just seems odd to me.
Was that after?
Yeah, I would assume. Like, she worked there for a really fucking long time. She still might. I don't know.
I'll see if I can look it up.
But at the same time, I don't want to sit here and try and fucking dismantle somebody else's story because it's none of my goddamn business.
Chloe Dijkstra.
I'm iffy about the whole girls and abusive relationships thing, because both arguments are valid. Like, yeah, she could get the fuck out of it when she realizes what's going on. But at the same time, at one point, some women just really are super fucking naive because they're literally blindsided by it. That they're just like, oh, I do love this human being so much, but they do all the shitty things, but I love them so much, kind of thing. It's a touchy subject.
Yeah.
Well, and the other issue that you run into is, like, why is it that people wait so goddamn long? You know what I mean? Like, just, I get it that we shouldn't be blaming people and blah, 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 but everybody should understand that you seem suspicious when you wait a long fucking time to accuse somebody of stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and especially this late into the Me Too movement on top of that.
Right.
I don't know,
The Me
man.
Too movement is stupid. The Me Too movement could have been a good thing, but feminists and just very overbearing and obnoxious women ruin it.
But don't they ruin everything?
No, I'm totally
He was just lying there waiting to be picked up, and I just had to go for it.
No, I agree with you. I think women could ruin a lot of bullshit because women act on fucking emotion and not fucking logic half the time.
Only half the time. I had to go there too.
Oh,
I'm gonna
man.
make all these jokes, don't you?
That's why that's the only
we
reason
do.
we're here.
I mean,
Um,
legitimately though, if it does turn out that it's true, then fuck him. You know what I mean? But I wasn't a huge Chris Hardwick fan as it was.
Yeah.
So either way, you don't give a shit.
Pretty much. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Fuck him if he did do that stuff. Like, that shit sucks, and I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
Oh, God damn it.
So-
Another missed opportunity. When you first said that, I should have said points.
Who raised you?
I was raised by wolves.
You can listen to previous episodes of the Lost Context podcast to learn about Chris Riley's history.
I don't know if I want to know.
He fell in a
I'll
fire
tell you.
twice.
I feel like I
Yep.
want to know, but I don't. Wait, he's been set on fire?
He fell in a
Yep.
No,
fire
I fell
twice.
in a fire.
Oh, I was like,
Yeah.
you were set on fire twice and you're still alive. Are you the Antichrist?
No,
Falling
I
in
wasn't
2
set on
times isn't
fire.
much
I
better.
fell in fire. I was rescued twice by the same person.
What the
He also
fuck?
found pornography in the forest.
I don't know why that's so funny.
The second time falling in the fire was me drunkenly reenacting the first time. And I reenacted it 100%.
Stupid ass. I wish I was there to see that.
If Chloe Dijkstra, I don't know how to pronounce her name, accused Chris Hardwick of this stuff, and because of the Me Too movement and everybody kind of jumping on board, and there's no necessity for proof, you can just call it out and suddenly the world turns against you. Do you think that Nerdist had to dump him and disavow him, or was it their, did they have to do that for the publicity reasons?
I don't think
even
they
if
have
he wasn't
to.
guilty.
No, I don't think
Well,
they
I
have to
mean-
at all.
The outcry against them, if they didn't, though.
Yeah,
Well-
so I was about to say they didn't have to, but I'm sure they did to protect themselves from all the crazy fucking feminists out there that would be like, how fucking dare you employ him and blah, blah, blah. Like, honestly, if I was a company, I would fire someone after allegations just because I'd have to listen to less fucking bullshit from people.
It's a weird. That's why. That's my concern about the Me Too movement. As virtuous as it may be originally, it's like because of the mob mentality. I think people could lose their jobs whether they're guilty or not.
Well, let me
at
ask
this
you a
point.
question, though. Like, do we honestly think that if somebody does something shitty, like, don't get me wrong, again, if he is guilty, that sucks, and that's a shitty thing to do. But does that mean that for the rest of his life, he does not get to make any sort of a living anywhere?
I don't know.
Because that's basically as far as the public would have it. You know what I mean? Because they demand that all of these places fire people, and it's like, well, what do you go and do then? Like, do you just have to devolve further into criminality because now you're not allowed to make any sort of, you know what I mean? I don't know. It just seems like a weird thing to desire, like, because it doesn't seem like anybody wants for anybody to improve their lives or to, you know what I mean? Like, let's say you hit your girlfriend when you were 16 and it comes out, later in your life, and now you're 35 and married with a bunch of kids and you haven't touched anybody since then. Do you deserve to get fired from your job?
No.
And you know what I mean? Like, but as far as a lot of these movements would say, yes, you do. Like, you don't deserve to make a living anymore. Like, you deserve to wallow in anguish for the rest of your days. Think about what you've done. Shame.
And that's the shitty thing about feminist mobs. I literally feel like I only see people really destroy other people's lives as they're like, feminists do that, if that makes sense. Like, the people that destroy lives are feminists. I 100% believe.
I don't think it's just feminists, man. Like,
I don't see the complaints from anyone else.
well, look at fucking,
Then again, I'm
Right.
also not on Twitter and all of that. So my only social media sources are Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat.
I mean, Look at what's happening with that 11 girl who is being photoshopped as a white supremacist all over the internet right now.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, dude, and like I guarantee you that that's not just feminists doing that.
Do you know what's triggered that? I don't know that story.
Apparently because she looks like a skinhead in the show because her head is shaved in Stranger Things.
Oh,
And
so they're just memeing
yeah,
her? It's
they
not
were
actual
memeing her.
accusations?
Well, they were memeing her at first, and then eventually what they started doing is they were just changing,
Those
Snapchat
are just those
things.
stupid
And
those are those stupid 4chan troll 30-year-old
well, yeah, but like that's
stupid
still
ass dudes.
like she shut down her like this is a 13-year-old girl.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's fucked up, and nobody seems to give a shit about that. Like.
Because no one wants to give a shit about that.
Well, no, because it seems like in the majority of our circles, everybody just wants to complain about feminists and liberals, and they don't want to turn the flashlight on their own bullshit because it exists and it's there and it's fucked up too.
You don't see me doing that.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
I
You
don't
know
see
what I
anyone,
mean in general.
Does anyone in CLC do that? If you do, shame on you. Shame on you and your family.
That needs to be a slogan on a sign. If you do, shame on you.
Shame
on you and your family.
Kyle
Kyle
Tuch,
movement.
2022.
Oh, fuck, we both got there at the same time.
Okay, but for real, I totally get what you're saying.
You mentioned how long do they have to pay for their sins or whatever, and I actually followed Nick Robinson after the Polygon incident just out of curiosity because Polygon fired him after he was said to, be asking for nudes or whatever the hell he was doing. I don't remember at this point. I think he was asking for nudes and just being a perv in girls' DMs. Okay. And so I followed him for I'd check in on him periodically, and all of his Twitter account tweets were like he had a kind of a following of people that would just remind him on every single tweet of what a horrible person he was.
No.
And that went on for about 6 to 8 months, and I just recently started checking some of his latest ones, and they're pretty much all gone, those people. But it took about at least half a year, maybe a little longer.
But let me we don't know what the fuck is going on with Nick Robinson. Maybe he's gone through a year of therapy. Maybe immediately after that happened, he was like, oh man, I really fucked up. And went and he's been dealing with his shit. And he's the most productive that he's ever been in his entire life. And yet, fuck him, right? You know what I mean? Right. He made one mistake in a sexual manner. And so you're just done for life.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers are constantly shooting people and, you know what I mean, hitting people with cars and all sorts of violent things, and that's cool, but as soon as, it's verbal abuse or sexual abuse, you are unemployable for life.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing right now. I was trying to see if he has a current job, but I do know, I just was trying to point out that that's how long people hounded him on his Twitter. For about half a year.
Well, yeah, but that's for something that really, and
that wasn't even a serious case.
Well,
that was
and that's
just
what
asking
I mean.
For nudes.
Is I wonder, what if Bill Cosby had a Twitter? You know what I mean?
I don't know if he would ever. I don't know if people would ever stop with that.
Right, and I'm not necessarily saying that, because let's be honest, if Bill Cosby is actually guilty of what he was convicted of, shit, he might deserve that shit. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
He definitely would deserve that shit.
Yeah.
And that's also one of those things, like, you talked about a guy that hit his girlfriend when he's 16, and now he's living a healthy life. Let's say Bill Cosby stopped raping people. I don't know if he did or not, but he became an old man and now he's not anymore. But that's way more serious of a crime than just hitting your girlfriend when you're 16, right?
Well, yeah, obviously there are degrees for it, for sure. Like, people that are raping stuff, and yeah, like, that's a big difference.
I'm sorry, I had to get out real quick to answer Jacob's phone call, but I'm back now. Someone ate their girlfriend.
What?
What?
Did you say someone ate their girlfriend? Is that what you're saying?
No,
but that's a much better story, though.
Oh, I was like, who ate their fucking girlfriend? This is hilarious. What? Okay, just
Bill
kidding.
Cosby, didn't you hear that story?
Did you ask him where the headphones were?
No, but if y'all want me to yell at him on the podcast, I will.
He's in the group, right? We better not.
Yeah, he is. He's a lurker. He just kind of watches and laughs.
Does he know you're on the podcast tonight?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
And he still took the headphones? What a dick.
I know.
How long have you two been together?
We have been together almost a year.
And you are 24?
Yes.
Is he the same age?
He's 23, but he'll turn 24 in November. So yeah, we're the same age. We're just 6 months apart.
I'm 23 and a half.
I was curious if he ever wrote you any really cheesy, terrible love letters.
Actually, no. He's not really a romantic kind of person, but I love manta rays. Manta rays are one of my favorite animals in the entire world. So for my birthday this year, he made me a huge...
He photoshopped a manta ray onto his dick and just sent that picture over.
I would have had mixed feelings about that because I definitely wouldn't want to have gone down on it. I just would want to have pet it. But
An old-fashioned, you say?
he made me a
Rest in
huge
peace, Steve
manta
Irwin.
ray painting for my birthday that he made himself. And on the back, on the border, is like a cute little love note about how much he loves me and how he wants to make my animal dreams come true one day and all this sweet stuff. But that's the only time he's ever been romantic.
Is he a legit artist?
Yes, he does he does spray painting and stenciling and all that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So he's actually pretty good. I think he should do it more often than what he does. But I'm also an artist too.
More manta ray dick pics?
I would love a manta ray dick pic. I would frame it and hang it in my room and be like, look, a dick with a manta ray. I'm one of those people, I would be happy with a naked painting of myself in my house.
When Kyle is, when she says she's bi, she doesn't mean boys and girls. She means guys and
Manta ray.
reptiles.
Let me tell you about the manta rays.
So
how
Aquaman
crushing
has gotta
was
be
it
the
for
perfect
you
dude.
when a manta ray killed the crocodile hunter?
Okay, so it wasn't a manta ray that killed him. It was a specific type of venomous stingray because manta rays technically aren't really super... I mean, it might have been a manta ray. I mean, I don't completely 100% know because it was happened when I was 12, 13? But
yeah, and Alex was 2.
just from... yeah, right? Alex was 2.5. He was a fetus. But from my understanding, manta rays aren't venomous and they aren't aggressive rays. It's more so the stingrays that tend to be venomous because they actually have a stinger. Manta rays don't really have a stinger. Facts coming at you because I'm an animal freak.
Well, they're probably more factual than anything else that's been on our episode.
I'll bring all the facts. But it has to be about animals because I really don't know about anything else in this world. I'm retarded.
Do you want to talk about your butt?
My butt? Why do I want to talk about my butt?
Because your Discord profile picture is your butt.
With my new tattoo that I recently got, yes.
What is that tattoo? I can't see it.
It's a big flower with an owl in it.
An owl?
Yeah, you don't see the owl because it's not an actual owl. It's in the it's a design in the petals and all that.
So your love of animals goes beyond lizards and amphibians?
Yeah, I love all animals. I love owls.
Owls are pretty rad.
I'm retarded.
So if an owl and a manta ray got together, which one would be on top?
a manta ray.
Really?
I think so. Do you not know how big manta rays are?
I know, but they're so flat and convenient.
So it would just crush the owl.
That owl would get fucking destroyed. Okay, so when I was working at the pet store, really funny story. We always joked because we have a huge I used to work there, so we had a really big python, a boa, red-tailed boa, and his name was Samson. And we also had a really mean blue-gold macaw named Dino, and we always joke about putting them together in the same enclosure and seeing who would win.
Nice.
Do you guys ever call 1-800-SAMSON?
What's that?
That's where you get the good weed.
What is that?
Kyle, will you ask for me?
That's what?
what the hell they're talking about.
I have no.
We're talking about half-baked.
Samson.
What is 1-800-SAMSON? Is that like a sex line or something?
No, it's from Half Baked. It's Dave Chappelle's drug dealer character.
Would you laugh if I asked who is Dave Chappelle?
No.
Okay, Kyle, I don't need you to go that far. I know who Dave Chappelle is.
Well, I can only read so much. I can only read mine so much, Brian. Okay, I don't know anyone. Like, I really don't know people. Like, if y'all talk about people who do podcasting and shit, I don't know any of them. I don't. I admit it.
Dave Chappelle is a comedian.
Kind of like what's his face? Louis? What's his name? He has that
Louis
show.
C.K.
Yeah,
Well,
Louis C.K.
I think Louis
Dave
Anderson was who she was
had
thinking
the
of.
distinction of having like comedy show probably ever, and then freaking out and going to Africa.
I like
Very
Amy
similar to
Wong. I
Louis
think Amy Wong is hilarious.
Very similar to Louis Anderson. Very similar careers.
I like Amy Wong, so
Oh, dude, she is actually quite funny.
she's fucking great. Like, I identify with her. She is my spirit animal.
But didn't you say that you were going to get your uterus scarred out? Something about heating up like a fucking fire poker and just right up the snatch or something? I can't recall.
No,
Yeah,
there's
that's
a
the
little tube
method.
that goes up there and it fries it.
Oh, that's it. SpongeBob and all that. Gotcha.
We spend
Does it
15
have-
minutes talking about manta rays and owls, and then a human woman is her spirit animal.
Well, the thing you need to know about this comedian is that she's Asian and Kyle just doesn't respect people of other races.
Yes, I do.
I'm kidding.
Only certain ones, though. Only the respectable ones.
Yes, I do. Well, only some of them. If they pull their pants up and don't smell like weed, I respect them. If they're not listening to that hippity hop and driving a lowrider, I respect them.
My life in a nutshell.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, Brian, what's next on the list that we can talk about? Because I'm so peeved that Brian did not make a list for this podcast.
This was just this was a week of no prep.
Yep.
Slacking.
It shows.
I'm
I
fucking
usually
driving
have-
right now.
I've been driving for a long fucking time, man.
Here's the thing. I have a list of topics ready on the go for this. And at any time I think of a topic, I just add it to my list for this show. And then I get on the show and we're recording and I start looking through the list, like, what can I talk about? And I hate every single topic.
Why?
They're so terrible.
I have something that I want to
The
talk
more
about.
terrible, the better.
So, can somebody explain to me when we're talking about babies and infants, like basically any child before they can stand, why do we say that they are long instead of tall? Like, if I broke both of my legs and no longer could stand, would I only be fucking 3.5 feet tall, like from wheelchair fucking all the way up to my head? Or would I still be 6'3"? Like, what the fuck is this? This is bullshit. Somebody explain this to me.
No, you'd be 3 feet tall.
So I would be 6'3" long?
I have no idea.
Oh.
That's pretty convenient though, because then you could just get a big wheelchair and back to 6'3".
Right.
I don't know. I still don't even know why mothers will call their children when they're 2 years old. My child is 24 months. Like, bitch,
I've never
you're
understood
fucking
that either.
kidding me.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid too. We definitely don't do that.
Please
Like,
don't.
not at
Please
all,
don't
'cause
ever. Because if you ever
it's
do,
asinine.
it gives me a reason to make fun of you.
Well, I mean, you should make fun of me anyway. Like, there's
So if
lots
Mark
of other good reasons.
If Mark Baggio, increases the size of his fake leg, can he become, medically a taller person? Can he officially become 6 feet like he's always dreamed of?
Well, but what I really want to
Yo,
know, though,
I never thought about that. Like, amputees, if they ask for, like, longer legs so they can be taller,
Sure. I don't see why
you
not.
ask him. See if he asks for the longer legs.
Get that shit changed on your driver's license.
well,
You should
see,
feature him in a podcast and ask him.
Mark has one of his legs, so I feel like it wouldn't be great for Mark.
just get a really tall shoe. But if you were a double amputee...
Well, yeah, then obviously. But
you could be as tall as you want, and who's gonna tell you otherwise? I mean, you're an amputee.
I really don't see why not.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
I would. I'd ask to be shorter.
You are 5'4"?
I'm 5'7".
Oh, that's right. You're tall. I forgot.
Yeah.
I did all those measurements for people and put them on that.
I think Tara's 5'4" because she was shorter than me.
Oh yeah. So actually that's kind of tall for a girl. But is that what's your ideal height?
My ideal height, I would like to be.
What would you want to be?
5'5", 5'4", like around there.
You want to be shorter?
Yeah.
Why?
Do you know how much like pain and suffering I've had to go through? Because like Jacob's only like 3 inches taller than me. If I was like 5'5", 5'4", he'd be like a whole fucking 5-6 inches taller than me.
why
I've
is
had
that
problems
appealing?
as a tall girl because I like to have a guy taller than me.
Well, why don't
Well,
you
that's-
just look for
that
taller
isn't-
guys then?
You right?
No, because there's no fucking taller guys out there.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Fucking professional basketball players at this fucking point.
Like, how tall is Jacob?
5'11"?
Dude,
Yeah,
That's
he's
not
there are
even-
5'11".
that's not
plenty
even
of
very
dudes
tall.
that are over 6'3" that aren't professional basketball players. Are you talking? What the
Are they
fuck?
attractive though?
Well, I
That's
don't
the
fucking
question.
know.
Do they have
Ask
a life
Brian.
for them? That's a question. They probably have knocked up a bunch of thotties by this point.
Wow.
Kyle, rate my face and then rate Tim's.
Rate your face and then rate Tim's.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is gonna be brutal.
I actually don't know what Tim looks like. Hold on.
Perfect. Oh god.
Well, here I can help you with that one. Basically, just imagine every face you possibly can, and that's every picture of him.
He's not joking. Tim looks different in every single picture.
Okay,
The
so
only-
Tim looks 12.
The only thing that's ever consistent from picture to picture with Tim is that his hair is not combed.
Dude, Tim does look different in every single picture. Okay, what picture do you want me to go off of? I want to go off the one with the glasses and the crop top.
Pick the hottest one you can find, I guess.
So the glasses and the crop top, definitely.
I like the mustache personally.
Oh yeah, the 100% one.
Yep.
Okay. Tim gets like a solid 5.5.
E.
Out of 5?
Out of
Brian, I'm still convinced that you're gay.
What
okay,
does
well
that
that's
have
fine.
to do
I
with
can
anything?
you can still rate my appearance.
I don't know. I can't find a real fucking picture of you because all your pictures are fucking memes.
Oh, if you look at Brian Bridges with an eye, you can find it.
Do I get extra points for a hairline at least? Come on.
He does have nice hair, nice uncombed hair.
Brian,
Right?
you just look like a dork.
Am I an attractive dork? Like,
On a scale of like dork to Deadpool, you're like a dork, and Tim's like Bart Simpson.
I'll take that. I will fucking take that. So Brian is Millhouse?
Yes.
Yes!
Brian is Millhouse.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm in. I'm down with that. I didn't think that this could possibly have gone this well.
With Millhouse on the scale, is Ralph above Millhouse or below?
Who's Ralph? Hold on. Which one's Ralph?
Chief
The fat
Wiggum's
one?
son who eats paste. I'm special.
I was about to say something really fucked up, but I'm not going to say it. So let's not use Ralph. Because you would have to
this
use
is-
Ralph.
Say
Kyle.
it. We're on this podcast
I'm-
for a reason.
No.
this is
no,
the
it's
Lost
a
Context podcast.
No. 'cause
We
it's
say
a
the N-word on
podcast.
here.
I don't
Not
know.
You
we.
say the N-word on
Brian
here.
says the N-word on here.
I'm saying
I want to make that
Ralph.
abundantly clear that Brian says the N-word on the podcast. We just encourage it like scumlords.
Ralph would be Eric.
Okay.
I'll give you that one.
The one that's really fucking politically annoying.
The one that is the icon for our Discord channel.
Is
The one
he?
who hosted the show a
Yeah,
while
look
back.
at the channel icon.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to just take 1 second to thank Vape Nation for sponsoring us. Thank you, Vape Nation. Make sure that you check out Vape Nation with their brand new flavor, Sticks and Wood.
There's another interesting fact about Eric Goldberg. He is oftentimes our temporary host of the show. He's been on several times.
Why?
Because it's fucking
Because
hilarious.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
He's just one of the douchiest people I've ever met. I can't stand him.
I really like talking to him on Discord, actually.
So let's see. Eric Goldberg. I'm trying to find it. Oh, Eric Goldberg hosted episode 14. Episode 14, the new host, hosted by Eric Goldberg.
Awful. Cringy.
Anyway, so what you're saying is that we're both tall guys, but you don't think that we're in the realm of attractiveness that you would date.
Oh no.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Jacob,
I wouldn't date you anyway because I'm
Jacob
gay.
is barely in that realm of attractiveness.
Okay.
Joking.
Oh.
Now, what if I told you I had a huge Pokemon collection?
Like Pokeballs or
No, like legitimately like first edition holographic Charizards and shit, bruh.
Are you 12 still?
Well, yeah, you just said that I looked like I was 12.
So you're 12.
Don't worry, dude. I
Pedophile.
got fucking Dragon Ball Z trading cards at home.
I mean, I love Pokemon just as much as the next person, but nah, man. All my money goes to animals.
I have almost every comic in the Infinity Gauntlet series.
Nice.
Yeah, I would go with Brian too.
I have Star Trek X-Men Planet X, the novel.
All right, way to ruin it, motherfucker.
I've never seen Star Trek.
Shut up.
So, speaking of comics and novels and stuff, lately we've been reading to my daughter the graphic novel of Coraline that's written by Neil Gaiman, and she loved it. We've read it all the way through like several times now, and so we just ordered her. I forget what the name of the next book is, but it's also done by Neil Gaiman, but it is way crazier than Coraline. Obviously, they made a children's movie out of Coraline, and this next one is about like a... What was that? Okay. So basically, the other book that he's done that we're getting, and it probably makes us horrible parents, but it's about a child that some vampires kill its parents, and then it's raised by ghosts.
Oh.
Sounds cringy.
And so, yeah, pretty creepy. Our daughter likes creepy stuff, but we're really kind of brushing up on the line to whether it's appropriate or not, since she's 5. And we'll see how it goes.
Oh, well.
Yeah, he's done a bunch of stuff.
Oh, by the way, the ants, I never did let them go, but we did give them a Cheerio, which gave them new life.
Oh, well, that's good.
I thought you said you got rid of him.
No, I lied about that. I was going to, and then I got lazy and didn't. And but we did give them a Cheerio, and it has livened them up a little bit. Most of them. I think some of them are kind of just dead, shriveled up in the corner, but definitely most of the 15 are still alive and enjoying their Cheerio.
You told us that you got rid of the ants because you were going to get rid of the ants?
Yeah. I hadn't actually done it yet. I was on the road still, and I hadn't got home to get rid of the ants. And so, yeah, I'm still playing God.
What? Why didn't you tell me that
And like
you were
God,
going to get rid of the ants? I had a memorial service.
Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to call it a night just because I want to eat because I'm hungry.
You can eat on the podcast. Never stopped anyone else.
Yeah, shit.
That sounds awful.
Blake's pooped and Alex is pissed on the podcast, so
Jesus. Well,
I think food going in is the best we could hope for.
That was her polite way of saying, fuck off, guys, I'm done.
Literally a shit show.
No, I gotta, like, make shit. Like, I actually have to, like, make something.
Well, that didn't stop Isaac.
Jesus.
He was like washing dishes on the show.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay. Bye, Kyle.
Okay,
See you later,
bye.
Kyle.
Now that Kyle's gone, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll see what happens when we get back.
Hey kids, do you like podcasts? If you like podcasts, then you should check out the AI podcast on podcast services everywhere, as well as simplecast.com, where it is featured. You like guests? Well, we got them. Hosts of the show, Tim Davis Demuse and Chris Riley, have both existed on the show before, and that is something that is a big achievement. Other prominent guests include Christopher Ian Solera and Mark Boggio and Chris Coward, and you can check them all out on the show as well. It's a fun discussion show, and if you like fun discussion shows, God knows there aren't enough of them in 2018, you can check them out on the AI podcast, and if you do, then good, and if you don't, I will come to your house and probably kill you. But sounds good. Check out the podcast, kids.
Ask for me.
This is Frankie Walnuts, Raspberry Earring, coming at you from the Raspberry Earring Nation, man. And all I'm trying to tell you about is our new Raspberry Earring Nation, man. It's got all the nice, snappy hints of urine with a subtle bit of raspberry on the back end of the palate to make you feel good about it. Raspberry Earring Nation, man. Frankie Walnuts, Vapor Nation, man. Raspberry Earring Nation, man. My name is Frankie Walnuts, and I approve this message, man.
Wow, thanks guys at Vapor Nation. I really appreciate that one.
So you made a Vapor Nation commercial?
Maybe.
Oh, man.
And I might have been Frankie Walnuts again.
Oh, nice.
Also known as
Frankie. I'm always going to call him Joey.
That's fair. I also took a lot of inspiration from the episode of Tim and Eric that I watched right before I made it.
So basically, you're just copping their shit.
Yeah, pretty much. But I look forward to see what it actually comes out as, because every single time that I laugh at it, the time that I make it, I laugh even harder after Brian puts like the official sounding music and shit behind it. That really makes the commercials.
Speaking of that, when I sent in the O Canada commercial for the adult bookstore in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada, I thought that he would just know that, like, you put in the O Canada song behind that. And so I'm, like, listening, I'm waiting for it, like, because the whole intro is, oh, Canada, and then, like, nope. There's just some weird jiggly crap in the background. I'm like, what the fuck is... Like, how do you not make that leap there?
Or at the very least, why was there no fucking fuzzy phasered guitar in the background? Just a... Like, man, missed opportunities, Brian. Normally you're so on point, but Chris has a point there, man. You kind of fucked us on that O Canada commercial.
First of all,
it still was good. I did like it.
I have to get copyright-free music, and I have no idea if their national anthem is
There is
copyright-free.
absolutely a rights-free version of O Canada.
And secondly, I did Waka Waka for one of the previous commercials, and this one seemed a little bit more commercially. It was less sexual.
Okay, and then also, like, say worst-case scenario, you put O Canada on there, and then you get sued by Canada. You go to court, and then they say, how do you plead? And then you just say, sorry. And then you hear audible gasps from everybody in the crowd, and then they just let you fucking go. They'd be like, oh, who told this yank about the sorry plea? They aren't supposed to know about that. Fuck, I guess we just let you go then.
I just want to end the podcast and make a bunch of O Canada commercials now.
No, I'm trying to get Alex on real quick. Hold on.
But seriously though, Chris, we should do that. We should get a couple more in the fucking series.
I got some other ideas for it. I just haven't recorded them. I've been waiting to get my new microphone.
Right on.
Microphone recorder, which I have.
Chris,
as long as tested it out.
As long as you're willing to do a Canadian accent, you're welcome to do that as much as you want.
I just gotta. It's hard to hold on to it. I'm really good at starting accents, and then they just fade into something completely different by the end of it.
Can you add in an octave pedal version of him saying "Oh Canada" so it goes like "Oh Canada, oh Canada."
I tried to do that with just my voice, but it didn't work out well.
I mean, I guess I could just send Brian a clip of me going "Oh Canada," because I have the ability to adjust the bass in that.
Now that I'm playing it back in my head, it also would work with definitely not a royalty-free song. The one from Ferris Bueller by Yellow. Oh yeah.
Bow bow Canada. Now, speaking of pedophiles, pedophile was in that movie.
Oh yeah, that's right. Principal Rooney
Yes, sir.
trying to pick up a 12-year-old male prostitute or something like that.
Uh-huh.
That is such a good pedophile noise. Oh man.
Okay, let me see if I have any more topics. We're just like hanging out here. Since you shot down my political topic, I'm not gonna do
Did
that
we?
one. Yeah, Tim did.
Which one?
Oh.
About the one where you brought up Peter Jordan's.
Oh yeah.
Hey, man, you want to talk to Peter Jordanson again? I got a PhD in shit, man.
Would you guys ever date a model or a movie star or someone who has to do nudie sex scenes?
I mean,
Sure, why not?
yeah, because if they're hot enough to be asked and paid to do that, I'm sure I'm probably attracted to them.
Them being on the big screen when they're without their skivvies wouldn't fuck with your head or anything like that?
Nah, pretty cool. But I also, didn't have a burning house, fuck my wife, or whatever happened to you.
That's true. You wouldn't worry about her,
I mean, like, everybody's got a job, man. Like, if, you're fucking, if you're a fucking police officer, are you going to spend all the time wondering if you're going to get shot on the job or whatever? I mean, nah.
I think that's exactly what they do, though.
Well, yeah, but that's beside the point. What's going on, Alex? You got a bladder full or what?
He just left. Oh, there he is. I'm just gonna start. That's gonna be my hello greeting to everyone from now on. Just like walk up to him. What's up, buddy? You got a bladder full or what? I unmuted him. I don't know why he can't talk.
He's probably just fucking with us.
He's trying to force it right now.
No.
He's like, give me.
I wanted to say that until my piss is respected on this forum, I will be withholding my piss until I'm on a piss strike right now. So until my piss is respected around here, I will be withholding it. So I'm gonna keep my bladder full until you treat me.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for the 24-hour Lost Context Podcast donation drive. We're going to be going for 24 hours straight here, ladies and gentlemen. Well, what we're going to need you to do is we're going to need you to call in and donate $1 for every single hour that Alex is not going to urinate.
I don't want to give my number publicly. You can just get on patreon.com/lostcontent and donate now.
I need you to give us a call at 1-800-SAMSON.
Well, that was a super cutout. Alex, well, he's not here anymore, but I heard that echoey resonance. I know he was in the bathroom when he jumped on.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just couldn't get it out, so he made up some bullshit about a strike. I've thought about that. Have you guys ever had to piss on command for a cop or an officer or like a job or whatever drug test?
Yeah, it's fucking awful.
Has it ever been difficult, or you just go?
It depends. Like, I've been called for randoms when I used to do construction, and that was difficult. But like, if I knew it was coming up ahead of time, I would drink a lot of coffee, and like normally I would be dancing in the line because that's the only way to. You know what I mean? Like, the first time that I ever went in there, like, dude, I shot the fucking cup right out of his hand, and he was like, dude, you know you can go in the stall, right? I was like, oh, my bad.
Oh, the balloon blows up on his head.
Right.
So, he's gay now. The only time I've ever had to do it was for life insurance.
Why? To make sure you're not on heroin or what?
I think so. I had the lady, and it was an old lady that came to my house, and she just sat in the living room and handed me a cup, and I was like, so I just went into the bathroom and had to do the do, and then I brought it out, and she had gloves on, and I just thought, this is weird as fuck.
It was just somebody pulled him in a dark alley, held a gun to his head, and was like, bitch, right now!
Hey, man, I got a fetish, and you're gonna help me with this shit.
So to ensure that he lived into the next moments of his life, he had to do it.
And Chris Riley just had a seizure. Ladies and gentlemen, 15 people are dead on the border of Minnesota.
This whole episode is like a whodunit mystery where, like, one by one, people are dropping off. Soon it's just going to be Tim and I. And then we'll know who the murderer is.
Can I be played by Anna Paquin?
Why? She's so terrible.
I just really enjoyed Fly Away Home when I was a kid. Have you ever noticed that his name is P. Rivers?
Yeah, I brought that up on one of the episodes.
Oh.
Yeah, Brian made a joke about it.
Wow, Brian thought of a good one. I'm impressed. We should
and nobody remembered it.
Listen,
June 18th.
I was second in the Meme Lord competition of 2017. I came in second place. That means I had to beat a lot of dudes in the competition.
Some people drop out of competitions against you and stuff? I'm pretty sure that happened a couple of times.
No.
Because let's be honest, if Blake had stuck with it, I wouldn't even be the Meme Lord champion right now, because everybody's biased towards Blake.
Blake is a cuck.
Okay, I had you guys muted by accident.
Alex, have you ever had to pee in a cup or take a drug test on command?
I had to do a drug test. That was for my job at Rutgers, though.
You knew it was coming ahead of time?
Yeah, I think they gave me like a 24-hour notice or something like that.
Oh, that's more than enough time to get the meth out of your system.
Oh, of course, that's what I was thinking of.
Quick little blood transfusion.
I mean, it's possible.
So you loaded up, you didn't have any trouble doing it on command?
No, I mean, here's the thing, is that I drink a lot of water, because, like, especially last year, because I was trying to lose weight, and I lost, like, 10 pounds just, like, drinking a lot of water. So, I mean, it's like, healthy for you. So, I mean, is the trade-off to that you have to piss a lot? I mean, okay, but, I mean, that's not, like, a significant trade-off if you're just trying to be healthy.
I don't know. I might rather be unhealthy. That's a lot of time wasted. I'm a busy guy, sort of.
Or you could just not have a hobbit bladder and fucking only piss a couple times a day.
I don't have a hobbit bladder. The thing is, I have a large bladder, and that's why so much pee gets stored up, okay? And that's why the pisses are so extraordinarily long.
That's like those Asian competitive eaters that load up on cabbage to stretch their stomach or whatever.
Competitive pissers.
Yeah,
They're just extending their bladders.
It's like that guy, Kobayashi. He was the fucking Asian dude that, like... Or it's like that guy on YouTube. There's that guy on YouTube who eats, like, the most unhealthy shit. Like, he ate, like, fucking 8 pounds of Rice Krispies or whatever in, like, one sitting.
Jeez.
So do you warm up for competitive peeing by sounding?
See, here's the thing: is that I've never tried competitive peeing. Although I'm sure I'd be good at it.
How far away do you think you could piss from, Alex? Like, real talk.
But you have tried sounding.
I think I could, like... See, it depends on the arc of the shot.
Unlimited arc. It's an unlimited arc tournament.
I'm thinking a good... I think 10 feet.
Wow.
I think 10 feet would be... Like, I think I could make it.
That's impressive.
You're telling me that you really think that you can break IP Daily's fucking record of 9 foot 9 inches?
All right,
Holy
maybe like 8 feet, but
Okay.
I don't know if I could break the world record.
Also, fun fact about IP Daily: married to E.G. Daily, the voice of Tommy Pickles.
Interesting.
I think he's going to be the next Me Too accused.
IP? Don't talk about
I don't
Isaac
know.
like that, my friend.
Bro, don't talk about the world's best competitive peer like that, man. Fuck.
I just have a feeling that anybody who is a competitive peer, and not just that, but the world championship, there's got to be a scandal there somewhere.
Well, yeah, but look at Wayne Gretzky, and this guy is the Wayne Gretzky of pissing really far.
He's obviously obsessed with his wee-wee.
Yo, can we talk about, if we're talking about Tommy Pickles for a minute, can we talk about that fucking arc in Rugrats where fucking Tommy's mom died? I don't know
What?
if any of you watch Rugrats.
You mean Chucky's
What?
mom died?
Yeah, no, Chucky's mom died. That was the sad one. But, yeah. Oh, yeah, it was Chucky's mom that died.
Last episode, I mentioned that I never got to watch Rugrats as a kid, so I didn't know that. That's really sad.
I feel like Rugrats probably was past your time.
What are you talking about? You were 2 when Rugrats came out.
Well, no, but I mean, like I was a kid though. Like Rugrats was still like on tape and stuff like that, or like the movie and stuff.
I think we can unequivocally say, though, that it was good that Chucky's mom died so we could make room for diversity on Rugrats. Because otherwise we would have never gotten an Asian mommy. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Asians aren't diversity, though.
Kill Whitey.
Yo, I have a funny story about that actually.
About killing white people?
No. When we changed the name. This was like very early into CLC's lifetime, and I think this was around the time Tony joined the group. But Tony changed the name of the group to Kill Whitey. And
I remember that.
And because like on Facebook, like you can see like, oh, this person's in this group, and so one of my friends who like joins all those groups that people are in messaged me and was like, yo, why are you in this Kill Whitey group? And I was just like, then like I explained to them, I was like, all right, so it's like a shitposting group, but like.
So it's like the only place on the internet where Jews aren't white people, man. We're gonna get them. We're gonna get them all.
Pretty much.
So did he join?
No, he did not. He did not join.
And that friend was Chris Cowart.
That'd be really. Yeah, but I've tried to tell people like. I tried to tell one friend specifically like that I think he'd like CLC, but like I still like couldn't really fully explain it to him in a way that would make him want to join. So like
that's why you just add your friends so they end up there one day.
Oh no, I think they would friend force me if that were to happen. They would definitely.
Just be real with them and tell them it's a cult.
Yeah, I mean that's probably the easiest way to go about it.
It's actually gotten a lot less culty since Blake has been dethroned.
That's true.
It used to be a lot worse.
The religion kind of disappeared after he left.
Right.
And then Tanya, and then everybody, you know.
Oh my god, remember Tanya? That was like fucking 3 months ago.
Who dat? Who there?
CLC time, it was about 3 years, but yeah.
Can you guys believe next month CLC is gonna be 1 year old?
Can you guys believe
that's right.
that next month fucking Tanya's kids are going to be graduating from high school?
No.
What the hell? No, they're not.
They're like fucking 2.
I don't know if Tanya still listens to the podcast or not, but somebody did tag her in one of the podcast Facebook page's posts, and she was like, "What?" But I haven't seen her around except on Instagram.
We have to talk about some salacious CLC breaking news that just happened in the fact that Jamie has become an admin now because apparently she has details on people's nudes.
And you get a boomer post, and you get a boomer post.
So I think we're going to be seeing a lot more Jamie posts, and now that Jamie has been given actual power. Now this is, of course, until Tony strips that power away and will automatically throw her out the group. But until that point, I think we're just going to have to wait.
I didn't know she was an admin. I have been out of the admin chat, so that's news. Breaking news to me.
She just became an admin like an hour ago.
Oh. That's good, because now we have Tara on the left and Jamie on the right.
You know,
nice balance there.
Jamie promised me that she would only show my dick pic to her husband. This is bullshit.
I like the idea that people actually... How did people actually send Jamie their dick pics? Like, how thirsty do you have to be to get to that level of sending a stranger you don't know on the internet your dick? Like, I don't know what life choices make you go.
Yeah, Chris Riley.
I got a weakness for Canadians. What can I say? Kenny Ryu got one in his mailbox as well.
Oh, I thought that we had a running joke that you sent a dick pic to Brian.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I don't remember that either.
This show's been going on so long that you guys don't even remember your running jokes anymore.
It's better this way.
It's true. I'll go through the old episodes and I'll try to remember the content of what did we talk about in this one, and everything is just a blur. I have no idea.
In Lost Context podcast, joke on you.
What is the psychology of sending someone, particularly a stranger, a dick pic? Are you just trying to impress them or what?
I think it would just have to be a level of thirst.
I know exactly what's going on, okay? They're looking at these pictures and they're like, oh, dude, this thought's going to want to fuck me. So I need to take preemptive measures to make sure my virginity stays intact by sending her a picture of my penis.
But
I don't think that's the psychology.
But
hey, man, Peter Jordan's in here, man. Here to let you know that that's definitely the psychology, man.
That's how the government would think about doing it.
What you'll find is that men are continually bombarded by thoughts in their DMs, and they're trying to combat it with dick pics. I can't even
Well, listen. What you'll find a lot in dick pics and sending them to people is that you'll find that there's a high level in the highest of the 1% of thirst in these dick pics, and then they send them to the billionaires and the trillionaires of the thought community. Okay, and this is what they've been doing, and so dick pics seep their way across the thought border.
Excuse me, Senator Sanders, can you clarify, will there be a dick pic in every DM under the Sanders administration?
Senator Sanders, let me take that one for you. Let me be clear. Now, under the Obama administration, under the Affordable Care Act, we believe that there should be, let me be clear, a free dick pic for everyone. And so that's what we're going to achieve under this administration.
Now, can I sign up for a package for an extra one with a sepia filter on it?
Can I sign up for a package?
Yay! Somebody got it. All right. This has devolved very far.
Wait,
fart!
That was actually good timing on that one, Brian.
Wait, are you guys still recording like the show?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh,
And here
he
it comes.
has to pee. He's right there. Yep.
Here it comes, folks. We're gonna pee Rivers. 17.
No, I don't have to pee actually. Again, I'm still on the pee strike. The pee strike is being taken very seriously, even though I'm on the show right now. The pee strike is gonna go until we get what we want, and we take down all the thoughts.
2,000 comments.
2,000 comments. Can we? So somebody, the owner of an alt account in our group made a 2,000 comments and I won't nut for a year post, and people were trying harder than ever to get to 2,000 comments, and I thought, this dude doesn't even exist. This is an alt account. What are we doing?
Wait, no, wait. There was Dennis did it first, and then Jim Shartman made a no nut post. So Jim Shartman has not nut for a year. I don't know who Jim Shartman's alt account is. I cannot reveal that information, but that's the situation.
Does anybody think that alt might be somehow tied to Shardy McDennis?
Whoa, I never thought about that before.
It sounds a little bit close. I don't know. I've been thinking about it, and it
seems a little
It
far-fetched.
could also be tied to.
Good.
It could also be tied to Dennis DeShartza, who is an alt account as well that is still in CLC.
I'm just gonna go to the members list real quick and type in the word shart.
I would find it really funny if like 100 of our 800 members are just shart alt accounts.
I am devastated to say that there is
Oh, no, wait.
only Jim Shartman left.
that Dennis has a Lisa Frank notebook just filled with alt account passwords and email addresses.
I think Dennis DeShartza got zucked, if I'm correct. I think that was the story there.
Yeah.
Sad.
It's a shame.
Well,
Dennis DeShartza went to prison for violating campaign finance law.
guys, I don't think that Chris Cowart is going to make it on the show. I don't have any topics left, so unless you guys got anything to talk about, I think we're done here.
Oh wait, Alex, did you enlist for the Space Force?
Did I enlist? No, I've not enlisted for the Space Force actually. But you know, after my weekend with the sniper rifle, I've been considering enrolling in the IDF.
Oh,
That was really you?
What?
That was really you in that picture?
Yeah, I shot a sniper rifle. I have a video of it.
Fuck yeah,
we've
dude.
posted so many Alex lookalikes in the group that Chris doesn't even believe it.
Well, I mean, we just made a space. The U.S. has a Space Force now. Like, reality has just completely broken. Like, there's just no way to tell what is really going on anymore.
I feel like we're not actually getting a Space Force. I feel like that's just one of those things Trump says where he like can't think of anything and his brain short circuits, and then it's just like Space Force. Like he just has all these. It's just like a Mad Libs in his head, and then he just vomits it out there. It's like
Space Force assemble.
President Trump, what do you think of the kids who are stuck on the border and are separated from their parents? And he just blurted out Space Force as an answer.
We need a theme song like an old 80s TV cartoon, like Space Force, Space Force.
Well, get
We should
on that,
make
Brian.
that.
You're the one that does those things.
I'm going to close.
Just
Make it to like the Team America theme where it's just like Space Force.
Fuck yeah.
Something like that.
Okay.
well, it should be the opposite. It should be America Space Force.
Alright, so who are we actually electing to this Space Force? Like, I feel like there should be a group leadership board that leads this, and I think the Twitter account Italian Elon Musk should definitely be one of the people running it.
I second that decision.
Can we talk about the fact that Italian Elon Musk actually got verified for a whole day, and then Twitter repealed his verification? But that was just one of the funniest fucking things I saw.
What do you think about, just real quick, what do you think about corporations, particularly fast food, having Twitter accounts that are like people, like making roasts and stuff?
I think it's kind of...
Can we talk instead about corporations like McDonald's having their own Space Force?
Well, here's the thing that
Wait. Have we talked about IHOB? Have we talked about that?
No.
We need to talk about IHOB.
No one's brought up IHOB yet.
I'll take a number 3 with cheese. Oh, would you like a Space Force with that?
Okay, at our fair, at our local Grant County fair, we have these things called space burgers, and they are like ground hamburger in a white bread that's like smashed into a UFO shape, so it's all sealed around the sides. They're terrible, but everybody's like,
Yeah,
it's
I'd
one of those.
imagine they would be.
It's one of those local things that everyone raves about, so they'll go in and they'll buy like 30 of them in a bag for their friends, and like
Space Burgers just sounds like it's one of those things they're trying to fool you with the name, like Rocky Mountain Oysters.
No, dude. Space Burgers sounds like the logical next evolution for Asperger's, dude. Like, man,
Yeah,
just
okay.
look
Well,
at
all of
Space
CLC has been
Burgers.
diagnosed with Space Burgers. Yeah.
So, okay.
If you're listening to this podcast now, I'm sorry. You now have Space Burgers, and you'll never be able to get rid of it.
So on Sunday, I actually went with my cousin to the IHOP for the first time.
oh, the official IHOB.
Yeah, it still says IHOP on the building, but the menus all say IHOB, and it just says like burgers or whatever. And I tried a burger, and honestly, it wasn't the worst thing in the world. You know, like,
Well, that's
I mean,
not complimentary.
next to AIDS and other things, I mean, the IHOP burger wasn't really that bad.
Yeah,
Was it better than Ohio pizza?
on a scale from malaria to child rape, I'd call it definitely more malaria.
This podcast isn't the worst thing in the world either.
Listen, let me talk about Ohio pizza for a minute. All right, because listen, if you're outside the states of New York, New Jersey, or Pennsylvania, no one knows how to make pizza properly. All right, especially Illinois. Illinois does not know how to make pizza properly. All right, I'm looking at you, Chicago, with your deep dish sauce cheese fucking monster. All right, that you put together. Like, people need to understand how to make pizza. I had a slice of Cleveland pizza that was deep dish or something like that. Ugh, just revolting.
Ladies and gentlemen, please ignore the little lesbian and his terrible opinions.
Kyle already
Whoa,
left.
Hey.
Oh, that was new. We have so many lesbians with terrible
I
opinions.
thought you were
on the-
talking about Wesley for a second.
No, I'm talking about Pat from SNL.
We have three lesbians with terrible opinions on this show. Hello, Chris Cowart.
I know.
Hello.
There he is.
We were just
What,
talking
hello?
about your CLC origin story.
All right, here. I'm gonna stop the show here, and then I'm not gonna stop it. Like, this is the official show done. But if you want to keep listening, I just want to talk to Cowart for a while.
Well,
What's
this works
up,
out
dude?
perfect because we can just knock out like a bonus episode or something right now.
Oh, sure. Okay, so we'll stop the episode.
Or like an episode of, if we ever cannot record or something like that.
Okay, so I'm.
One in the
Patreon, a Patreon exclusive.
Patreon. Join us on Patreon. You can send us that bread over on Patreon.
So to
Please
everyone.
subscribe to us.
To everyone listening, this has been the Lost Context Podcast, and stay tuned for the Lost Context Podcast.
Hey, fucking write us a review and shit, eh?
Oh, yeah. I hate that we have to say this, because I always think, when I watch people on like YouTube and stuff, they're like, don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, and I'm like, everybody knows how to use fucking YouTube, but then the reality is you get your own show, and
Wait,
you're like,
ring what the?
And you're like, hey, nobody follows us or rates this shit, and so nobody else sees it, so...
yeah.
I mean,
We
it's
put in
called,
a lot of work
it's called
on this.
closing the deal. Did none of you guys read Donald Trump's book?
It's just funny that once...
Yeah, you have to ask for the sell.
You have so much faith in people, and then once you start your own show, you lose all faith in people. You have to treat them like children.
So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and ding that fucking bell, you assholes.
You stupid people.
All right.
Irrational.
You rotten son of a... You STI infested. I'll tell you what.
If you want to search online for the Lost Context podcast, here are the places you can find us: iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, Facebook, and YouTube. YouTube also has occasional content besides just the podcast episodes. We'd be grateful for reviews on places like iTunes to help improve our visibility there. Also, look us up at patreon.com/lostcontext if you'd like to help support the show. Lastly, the CLC Facebook group is a fun place to hang out. Sometimes it's hidden, so if you'd like an invite, feel free to message us on any of our social media or podcast platforms. We have Discord events together, such as movie nights and jukebox music and chat sessions. Who knows, you yourself could even end up on this podcast with us. And that's all for this episode. We'll see you on the next one.